Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your daily energy check. Today we're going to do a classic reading. So we'll check what's going on energetically with the twins, what is the specific theme or question that we need to discover today, and also we'll see how the twins feeling towards each other. Today, I am launching a new episode of my show, Mindfully Awake. We're going to talk about our voices, literally, figuratively, whichever context you may think of when you hear that phrase. It's going to be about reclaiming your voice. We're going to talk the physical aspects of it and, when we use our voice, what does it consist of? How is our body involved in this process of creating sound on both when we speak and when we sing, and of course we'll talk about a whole lot of other things like energetic work, chakra work for the throat chakra, and what can you do to give yourself more enablement when it comes to your throat chakra and enabling your voice, right? I know it sounds like it may be easy. Maybe those of you who use your voice more in your life for whatever purpose you need. Like I'm using it definitely because I'm recording videos every day, right? From time to time I'm recording podcasts. I facilitate events, right? So I use it quite a lot. It's one of my tools. I want to say one of my main tools. I guess it is one of my main tools to get the message across. So yeah, you probably, if that's something that you do, or maybe you just enjoy singing very much and that's your hobby, and you know that it actually, as much as it gives you a lot of joy, it's actually a certain amount of effort and skill to produce the sound that you want to produce. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about exercises to get you there, whatever your goal may be. Also some emotional blocks that may be preventing you from using your voice fully. All right, with that said, let's get straight into the reading. I am going to start with an oracle message, and today I picked the spirit junkie from Gabby Bernstein. So let's see what we have for divine feminines first of all. Also, my cute candles are back. I was looking for a backdrop that I want to replace this one with. So next reading, there's going to be a different backdrop, and I'm transitioning into spring with more color, more pattern, like stuff like that. By the way, tomorrow is going to be the 2/22, February 22nd, and some people recognize it as 2/22 portal, like 222. So we will do something along those lines, like talking about that portal theme and meaning, and we'll do a reading with that in mind. And then on Sunday, we're talking about Mars turning direct. And then beginning of next week, either Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a reading about new moon in Pisces. So a lot going on. So definitely stick for it. And there will be a new backdrop. Okay, Divine Feminines, your card for today is this. By the way, for those who are new to the deck, these are the cards that are affirmations. This is the deck. They're not exactly oracle messages. It's more like they're presented in a form of affirmation that you can use to strengthen or to remind yourself about certain universal laws and truths. So for feminines, we have, my power lies in my peaceful presence. Yeah, if you remember, mindfulness in general, because I'm positioning myself as mindfulness connoisseur, and all my brand started with mindful, and that's one of the goals of my program, if we're truly honest. Then it starts with two things: awareness generally, and of course being grounded, being present, being balanced, right? So you can say they're kind of the same, they're somewhat different, so I differentiate those two. But peaceful presence is when you can be your most empowered and authentic self. So remember that, and never underestimate the power of getting yourself into that moment of presence peaceful presence, very important. Masculines, for you we have my friendships support me, nourish me, and inspire me. If there's any friendship in your life, or you can replace it by trusted relationship or trusting relationship in your life that doesn't do those things, then that's a red flag. Like for real, like, you know, you need to look into it. Can you transform it? Can you work with that person to get it to a better place? Something that will be more mutually valuable. And if not, then it's time to let go. My friendships support me, nourish me, and inspire me. That's the way it's supposed to be. Both ways, by the way. And if you have doubts on whether you do that for a specific person, then you can also talk about it with them so that you understand better how do you attract each other, right? What is that value? And then for the main read, I'm using this pretty pink deck that's called Souls on Fire. Okay, let's see. I'm also doing some tests with different equipment. So for this specific reading, I'm using a separate device for the microphone. So we'll see how that works out. And then I'm also going to be using different video mic different camera mic for the episode tonight. So even I'm excited, and you know, I don't really know how that's going to turn out, but hopefully good. The moon, look at that. Yeah, I've actually gotten a few messages from you guys, like talking to people in general too, that this week has been quite sensitive. Now things are coming up, impermissible feelings and emotions, parts of ourselves that maybe we're suppressing usually, and they're coming to the surface. But remember that it's all for the sake of us facing it, and again, meeting yourself there in that space, right? So acknowledging, like, this is what is going on with me right now, and yes, I want to work with that part of myself. I want to at least sit in that energy to even understand what that part needs from me right now. And here we have death. It's very interesting. When I saw the black card here, I thought for a moment that it was a death card. Because like the handwriting here is really tiny and subtle. So that was my first impression. Look at that, we got death as well. Yeah, it's a sign of transformation when we're able to sit with those emotions and meet ourselves there and provide that nourishment, that support for yourself, for ourselves. That's where the magic happens. That's how you grow. That's how you expand and heal, of course. Feminines, your energy is 9 of Pentacles, clarified by King of Wands. So one of your inspirations actually divine masculines. Maybe you are that inspiration for them, you know, they include you in that list of trusting relationships. But I like that it's actually the way it inspires you is to be more loving and nourishing and nurturing towards yourself. Because a lot of times, especially as feminines, we tend to overextend ourselves to take care of other people. But in this case, it's like the love that the masculine gives to you or expresses encourages you to see that beauty in yourself and to give yourself, to be more loving towards yourself. Let's put it that way, right? It can mean many different things. And for those of you who, when I'm saying this, you're like, I'm not even in touch with my DM. Whoever that is, right? It doesn't have to be twin flame. It can be a soulmate. It can even be a male friend, honestly, right? But it is that beautiful relationship between you two that is inspirational to you. And like, almost like, you know, like you get that mirror effect where you're like, oh yeah, I am beautiful. Like that person really sees me, and almost like I believe it more now. For masculines, we see 7 of Cups clarified by 10 of Wands. Wow. Yeah, there's lack of clarity for the masculines right now. And I feel like the whole emotional thing that we've seen is only making it worse for them, because masculines hate dealing with emotions, right? And there's just too much right now. And it's not like too much like they are sitting and crying, maybe, but not in that way. But in a sense that there are certain emotions that maybe they haven't faced before, or they're uncomfortable. Like there are a lot of them, like different kinds of them. So if they were able to suppress them before in a certain way, now it's like I can't like pick a pattern for how do I deal with it, because I haven't really dealt with this kind of combination yet, right? And it creates a feeling of a loss and confusion, right? Not to mention that life is still happening, right? There's still expectations from, I don't know, from your boss, from friends and family, from the feminine, from whoever, you know, like to keep going, to continue. You got responsibilities every day, right? So what do you do about that? Very good question. Let's see, what is the additional question for today? Two of Pentacles clarified by 10 of Swords. And if you remember, actually in this position we saw Two of Pentacles yesterday. I think it was a clarifier, but it was there. So that means that there's still this open question of how do I manage like all these different aspects of my life, right? How do I deal with this wealth of information flowing towards me and be on top of everything and be able to give my attention to everything that's happening right now. What do the feminines need to know about this? Wow, Queen of Swords clarified by 4 of Wands. So your dreams and plans towards union and being with that spectacular divine masculine and having that forever and ever union and love is supposed to get you more disciplined actually and more strict in your own reality right now, right? So, and it's not even for, remember we spoke about it yesterday actually, it's not like, okay, when I'm with my DM then everything is going to be smooth and perfect and I'm going to be on cloud 9 and none of this current BS is going to matter. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to get into that discipline version of yourself that's like very, I mean, this energy is reasonable but also a little bit kind of strict, you know, so like no lenience here, right? It's like get your shit together, girl, right? Like get disciplined, get your priorities in order, if anything, right? And that's gonna be moving you closer to that. Not like being like, okay, I'm just gonna just flow with whatever happens to me right now, and then one day we're together and then I'll create a roadmap for like what I want to do in my life, right? Or I'll get more disciplined about to do and some goals that you never get to, right? I'm not saying just write up 20 goals and, you know, put that immense pressure on yourself. It's not about that. No, if anything, it is about understanding what is important right now, right? And it's probably not going to be one thing. Maybe one is enough. If you've been in a dark place and you're just getting started with like reclaiming who you are and what you want to do in this life, maybe one is one is enough and it's a good start, right? If you're in a better space, you feel more comfortable, then take a few things. It doesn't have to be everything. And I'm not saying if you're not looking, I don't know, let's say health and nutrition, right? You're like, okay, I already have to do like this top 3 things that are super important right now. Nutrition is important, but I just can't deal with it. It doesn't mean that you are saying no to it. It just means that you're prioritizing correctly and you're not overwhelming yourself unnecessarily, right? And let's be honest, you can be on top of 20 different goals at the same time. So just make sure that you still have that on the list so that next time you're reviewing where you are with your priorities, you know, one of those, maybe 2 of those 3 things is going to be like, okay, I've done enough for now. Okay, now I'm going to focus on that nutrition. Why not? Masculines, you have 7 of Wands clarified by the Magician. So masculines are really building boundaries and or supposed to build boundaries and focus on what you want and need, right? And again, there's this energy of like, I'm trying to be on top of everything and I have all these responsibilities, but this is exactly the opposite. This is almost like those people can take care of themselves, right? But when you are looking at your priorities and what you want to give your attention to, like whatever matters to you personally, individually, is supposed to be on top of the list, right? And if you decided that it's your kids, for example, fine, right? But then there's something else, right, on the list. Again, pick 2 or 3 things, right? And it can't all be somebody else. Some of it needs to be what you're doing for yourself, for your joy, for your happiness, for your health, your wellness. Maybe it will feel a little selfish at first, but it'll pass, I promise you. Especially when you start seeing results of it and how much better you feel and how much better you are with other people. So it will have that residual value. If you're so obsessed with what, with taking care of other people or what other people would think, then that will be that value as well. What are the feminines thinking towards the masculines? King of Swords clarified by 7 of Swords. Yeah, they're seeing masculines overthinking and over-rationalizing what's going on right now, or what's going on in their life, or how to proceed with their life and with this relationship, right? And it's lacking certain, how do I put this? It's lacking certain truth, really, right? It's like masculines are picking some information and putting it together, making some assumptions, and they either don't know the whole truth or they don't want to admit it, something like that. And that's causing them to be, first of all in their head, not connect to their heart. And second of all, still staying very set in their ways, like within very specific frame of reference, not wanting to look outside the box. How are the masculines feeling towards feminines right now? What are their thoughts? 3 of Wands clarified by 10 of Pentacles. So masculines can see that feminines are building a life for themselves, that they're affirming for themselves and the world who they are and what do they want to create. And even if it doesn't look like 10 of Pentacles yet, then they still see a lot of willpower. 3 of Wands is also a card of willpower, right? And they at least that's how they feel about the feminine, right? Like, this is someone who has so much willpower that even if this picture looks a million miles away, they still have enough determination to go for it, right? Enough of personal reserve. Beautiful. Okay. And one more message here, and it's inspiring masculines to, I'm getting the message that it's bringing certain feelings of shame as part of that bunch of emotions that we were talking about in 7 of Cups. But it's also causing them to rethink. They, like, on the one hand, they understand that they're not there yet. They don't maybe have as much willpower to step into, to do the right thing in their life, let's put it that way. Right? Even if deep down they know what it is. But they're finding excuses to put it off or to do something else. But it's also after that first layer of shame, is out, then the clarity comes in. And essentially the feminine is inspirational for the masculine that way. This is not even the role model, but it is kind of inspirational. Like, okay, that person feels so strongly about this, and maybe if I find something that I'm so passionate about, then it will become so much easier for me to step towards it. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you're new. And until next time, bye.